Okay, so hey everybody, hopefully you can hear me okay. This evening we're going to be doing a slightly different stream to the ones we've been doing so far. Again, we've focused around game creation and focused around kind of showing off Crayta through play mode and create mode and all those things. We thought it might be quite nice, we've said it a few times, but in Crayta it's actually possible to create your own sort of social space, your own hub, so to speak, and just introduce your own mechanics to that. So it's very similar to a game, but obviously doesn't quite have the same sort of game rules to it. It's a really nice way of playing Crayta, and a really nice way of actually kind of meeting up with friends before you actually start jumping into other games. So I'm joined by the usual group. So if you guys all want to say hello, I should be dancing around in our proper hub.
Hello.
Hello.
Cool. Okay. Busy emoting away. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just jump straight into it. So to start with, we're actually going to go from one of our starter games, but this time it's I guess it's not really starter game, it's just the empty game. So in the previous streams, you've seen us make games from all these different starter games, which come with a bit of game logic as well as a sort of a default area. In this case, actually, we're going to start with an empty game, which is just the terrain and nothing else, apart from maybe a spawn point. So here you can see it's a blank canvas for you to use as a basis for your game, or in this case, it's our hub. So we'll call this, imaginatively, we'll call this Stream Hub.
Wow, that is your most imaginative name yet.
That is, yeah, no, I'm really pulling the names out of the bag here. It's not like I've had all week to think of a better name. We'll go with, I quite like this spooky tower. Okay, so we'll create that, and in a moment I'll send a code to the guys to get those to come and join me. As always, if you have any suggestions along the stream, then do make sure you throw them in. The mods will do their best to sort of get those to us. This will be quite an interesting one for suggestions to see kind of what you guys would like to see in a personal space, in a personal hub, and we'll sort of see if you know how well we can build them. And if you do have any questions around Crayta itself, then do make sure you ask them, and the mods will do their best to answer those as well. Okay, so I'll go down here, create a share link. Okay, so there's my share link, so I can send that code to the team. Okay, and then we should see those guys start to send that in a minute. So what they'll do now is they'll go to the create page and then use a share code, and they're going to enter that code here. And what that will do is it will find the instance I'm in. It will bring them in alongside me. Okay, let me just double check that code. Okay, looks like I can't type, so hopefully you guys can get that code now. I missed a character at the end, misput it, so that should be it.
Yes, that's right. Hello.
Cool. Okay, here we are spawning in. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen Crayta before, Crayta is a collaborative game development platform. So we're here in the editor about to build our hub space, our game, and the guys are actually here in the hub with me in real time, which is pretty nice. So first what I'll do is I'm just going to press the F5 key, and we're going to go into our preview state. And just to show that this is an empty slate, there's nothing here running now. There's no game logic, there's no timers, scoreboards, health bars, all those things that you'd normally see from the other starter games. We've just got the guys all kind of ready to get building. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I think you should have kind of a rough idea of what we're trying to build here. So if you want to, in fact, Adam, do you want to just help me create a couple of islands? We say four little islands for this. Sean and Maggie, if you just want to kind of stand around and emote and look busy, maybe have a think and a plan about what you want to build.
Oh, I already know what I'm doing.
Ooh, do you want to?
Oh no.
Suggestions.
Do you care to explain, perhaps? Let us into your thought process there.
It's not going to involve meat. Good.
Good.
Oh, why not?
Maggie's favorite voxel type. I'm going to make something nice, like a coffee bar.
Ooh.
Because I miss coffee bars with the whole lockdown.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I miss the outside.
Cool.
Crayta
Okay.
is the best place to socialize now.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You know, it's the sort of thing that it's a really nice way to sort of just meet up with people is online, and you know, what better way to really create your own enjoyable space than to literally build it. You know, it's quite a nice way of doing that. Okay, so all I've done here is I've created a big sphere with our shape tool, and then I'm just going to do a sort of remove operation with the cube and just sort of slice the top of this off. Oh, still got there we go, that makes more sense. Okay, and that'll give us this nice flat surface with a bit of a sort of bowl underneath to act like underneath of the island. So they're not the biggest of spaces. Hopefully you guys can still do what you'd like with that. Oh, what I didn't do there is extract it. So I'm just going to extract this from the main terrain. So this will kind of create its own voxel asset for the store. I do that. Okay, so yeah, as you can see now, I've got this is like a selectable. Oh, I missed a little bit off the bottom. I just undo.
Oh no.
Okay, I'll undo and we'll go back.
Bin it and start it again.
Right, that's it. Scrap the stream, starting again. Okay.
I started painting it
You did start painting it, I noticed.
in jungle.
Okay, make sure I get the bottom this time. Okay, right. This time, if I extract, we get this island. Flip you guys off it when you come and stand on it. Bounce you around a little bit.
Oh.
Cool.
I tried.
Okay, so we've got that. So we'll call this first one. We'll just call this Island 1, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I'm going to go and rename my voxel asset. Okay, just realised I wasn't on screen. Okay, if I rename, so Island 1. Cool, so that's now something that I can place multiple copies of. So I'll leave you to do that, Adam, if that's all right. If you want to go around and place the other ones, and then if you guys can agree amongst yourselves which ones you want to take, I'll take whatever's left. I have to think about some hub music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Individual hub music. 3D hub music.
Oh, what? So each island has its own. Oh, we could think about it. See if we've got time to sort of implement the logic behind that. Or I guess it's just be the range. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so things we're going to plan to add are little things like perhaps I was thinking maybe some sort of little mini football type thing. So a couple of goals and a ball that spawns that you can boot around. Might be quite fun. And then we're going to implement some kind of game links, so some portals that will actually take us to other games in Crayta. So the hub space becomes a really nice like kind of personal lobby at that point, so you can kind of come to your lobby, you can have games assigned to certain portals, and you think, right, I want to go play a game of prop hunt, or want to go play a certain game. I can go off and jump into it. Anything you guys in particular going to add feature wise, you think?
I'm going to largely go with whatever the chat wants to suggest and whatever I feel capable of making, I think. Is that an acceptable answer?
I'd say so.
I'm not sure what features a coffee shop could have, but I can try.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be full of all sorts of interesting, nice, wonderful UI. So, I mean, I might have just put you on the spot there, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
But it will have wonderful UI.
Okay. So what I think would look quite cool here is with this like floating island idea is a little bit of fog. So let's play with that. So we have these sliders for our world settings, and here we can adjust all sorts of things like the time of day, the various sky domes. So go for a space sky dome. This might look quite cool, I guess, if we can like light everywhere nicely. Yeah. Should we go for like a darker, darker hub? Okay. Cool. So go for that, and a bit of fog, but probably want to have it all the way in, so really low distance, but then the fall off, actually, if we raise that, we should get to see the top of these little island domes, and then you get this almost like mysterious effect. I wonder if we can raise the whole thing a bit. That might work.
Yeah.
I just pull everything up out of the fog a bit. There we go.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hmm.
Cool.
Someone wants a moon made out of cheese. That sounds like a good task for
We
me.
can actually do that.
We
can't
can
Let's do
act.
that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
No, I want it.
Yeah.
Why does someone want a coffee shop from hell? That's not very nice.
Probably thought it would have a disgusting baby thing in it.
I'm
I don't know
gonna.
why they'd think that, but
I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna show you the cheese voxel. I don't think we've showcased this one yet.
Moon.
So here we have cheese. There we go. Tell you what, Adam. While you're setting up those islands, or have you? Oh, you've already got them. Okay, I'll leave you to do the cheese moon.
yay.
I guess that's going to orbit and all that fun stuff as well.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, can sort of spin around in the sky. Okay, I'll take the snowy looking one.
Shotgun this sand.
The one you're running around on, yes. Sand,
Okay.
Western. I don't know.
see.
I just coloured them in differently so we can see that they're different. You don't have to keep them that way, but you just can't turn them into meat. That would probably be the only rule.
Yeah,
You can't tell me what to do.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to search
Right.
through the library for like wintry things. Trying to think what we've got. I guess a campfire would be a nice cozy looking thing to have.
I think I could do this on this little island. Maybe a hexagonal coffee shop.
New voxel mesh, cheese, moon.
Can you make
did-
like? Can you make a meat moon as well? That's in like
No.
it's opposite and they both like orbit.
Yeah,
No.
it would be the
Parallel.
blood moon.
Literally.
No.
All right, slap that down quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well pointed out. We need a green skull underwater somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm on it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's necessary for yours.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so for anyone watching who this is kind of your first time or one of your first times seeing Crayta, as I say, this is a collaborative game development platform, so we're all working together in real time making these games. I'm currently in our basic mode. Wow, I've just seen the size of the cheese moon.
You can't do
So-
half measures, can you, with something this important?
Yeah, so I'm in our basic mode at the moment, which is where we can kind of still use our character, and at this point I'm able to run around and place sort of meshes. I can interact with the world and do various things with my character, and it's a really nice way of playing. It's kind of a much more gamified approach to game development, and obviously with Stadia, it's a really nice way of actually getting to play on the Chromecast with the controller. So everything you see me doing here in basic mode, you could also be doing on the controller. So you could actually be sat in the comfort of your own living room on a big screen with the Chromecast doing all these things you can see me doing now, which is a really nice way to sort of sit and just relax and play games and make games. Okay, so got a bit of a snowy campfire going on here. Right, at any point I can hit the tab key and I'll go to the advanced mode, and this is the mode you've seen us use a little bit so far already, and this is where we kind of get more to the keyboard and mouse side of things, where we've got more UI to play with, so more things like a world tree. They've got the library to search through from this view. We get more advanced voxel tools, so this is more of a kind of familiar for people who've perhaps used Unity and the Unreal Engine and things like that. This is a bit more kind of involved at this point, but just as valid, obviously. Oh wow, here comes the is that a Pac-Man moon?
Someone wanted a bite out of it. That was my best attempt, okay?
Wow. I feel
That's
like
kind of intimidating.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I feel like it needs teeth.
Yeah.
It already looks too much like the Meat Baby head.
I think we're going to regret this very quickly.
No, no, no.
I don't know. What did chat think? Do we want teeth on the moon or not?
Yes. Come on, chat. Come on.
Crayta, the
What?
game with teeth in the moon.
What type of teeth? Disco? No. Maybe.
No, just use all the bone meshes and have really bony teeth. Have a terrifying moon.
Feel like we're not really taking chat suggestions, we're taking Sean's suggestions. So I'm going for it.
I mean, that's all that really matters.
Well.
I'm sure everyone in chat will agree with me.
Okay. If you're willing to take that bet.
I'm a UX designer. I know what people want.
Wow, playing the UX designer card, right?
Slam!
Okay, so it looks like chat. We've got definitely want teeth on the moon, moon teeth or death, and yes, disco.
Disco teeth.
Big teeth. So I think teeth
Oh
are
wait,
in Adam.
yes to disco. I've gone for like
Yeah.
scary pointy teeth, like Sean said.
Maybe you could go for like one disco tooth. It was like that's the one that got replaced.
What about disco eyes? Settle
Yeah,
halfway.
right. Yeah.
Pointy teeth and disco eyes.
Oh gosh.
We've gone off track.
What have
so
we
quick.
got? This is no longer a fun place to hang out. There's a giant cheese moon with teeth.
It's an intimidating place to hang out.
Okay, so let's add some water. So again, if anyone is sort of new to Crayta and hasn't seen our previous streams, a lot of the voxel materials and things that we do use are quite kind of intelligent materials almost. So they're not just flat colors and flat kind of flat designs, so to speak. They're a bit more a bit more sophisticated. We can have things like water here, so we actually get this kind of, hopefully you can see that okay, so this sort of rippling water effect. So again, I'm just painting down these voxels like I would any other, but it kind of knows how to kind of cast the light and things like that on them. Oh, nice flyby, whoever that was.
Yeah.
Just checking out the water.
Cool. And then characters will actually be able to swim in the water. So when I place this, I'll show you. But the kind of beauty of Crayta here is that just by painting down these voxels, the game knows how to treat them, so players can swim through them. There's no collision on those voxels. Without you having to do any code or any sort of additional work, it will just work like water, which is really a really nice little touch. Okay, but before I place that, put that up in the sky and then extract it, and then that way when we place it back down we get a much nicer sort of water effect inside here, so we actually see kind of the edges of the slope underneath the water. And then if we wanted to, we can move this around. We could have a script which sort of a Lua script which sort of over time would adjust the height of the water. I think you've done similar things with that before, haven't you, Sean, with your like diving game and things?
Yeah, to make a nice little beachy vista. I think it shows the other thing just with Crayta, you don't necessarily like we're showing now. You don't really have to make games. Just make nice looking things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
It's just nice and relaxing to use a voxel editor.
It is, yeah.
I'm not finding this relaxing.
Or
Look
when you're
in
not
the
making
sky.
giant moons. Oh, that's horrifying.
I am not relaxed.
I love it.
But someone asked for a meat moon, so there we go.
A meat moon.
Oh, you didn't see in the sky. Right
Oh my
above
God.
where you were, Russ.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh wow. I don't know. What do we think, chat? Is that I mean,
It's
they're
incredible.
the kind of teeth I was actually thinking of. So that's pretty good job.
I think Moon is incredible.
Thank you. I tried. Right, what am I meant to be doing? It's probably not that. There's a fourth island.
Yeah, just get building on an island. I think enjoy a bit of social building.
Non-moon based building.
It looks jungly here.
Okay, so what you can see me doing now is quite a lot of intense voxel work. And if you're interested in some of the techniques and things that I'm doing here, do make sure you check out some of our previous streams. So if you're not already subscribed to us here on YouTube, make sure you do that. And if you check out our kind of archive live streams, we did a masterclass on kind of using the voxel system and the way you can build with voxels. So if I want to kind of put the mods on the spot here, if you have that link available, that'd be great if you could go and find and share that one. Okay, so another kind of one of the great things about Crayta is it's developed on the Unreal Engine, which obviously is quite famous for its fantastic lighting and its amazing effects and those sorts of things that you can easily kind of have in those games, and they always look really good. So actually, as a creator here in Crayta, we have access to things with kind of really interesting lighting and lighting options and various fires. So various effects. So here I can add quite a good looking fire effect to this campfire just with a couple of clicks. And then if I wanted to kind of step this up a bit, let's add a light. So I just click here to add a light. And if I drag it up, we can actually see that light starting to kind of flood around. And then over here at the side, if I just hide a few bits from the screen. Okay, so you can see these options here, which kind of, specific to this entity, we can change things like the type of light, so whether it's a point light, spotlight, so something you might expect to see out at the end of a torch or a flashlight. We can change the color. We get this kind of big color picker to now pick the color we want. I'm going to go for sort of a dark orange. We can up the intensity, so this would be quite a bright flame here, so go for quite an intense, and we can see that starting to kind of catch all these edges over here. We could choose for it to be shadow casting, so now we can see it's sort of this pole here is obviously catching and there's a shadow being cast there. So you want to be careful with how many kind of overlapping shadow casting lights you have. Obviously that's quite an intensive thing, but for little scene setting things, it's actually a really nice touch. Or if the light needs a shadow for a gameplay reason, that's quite a good one as well. Okay. Cool. So that starts to come together. I do need my community reminder of the skull. So let's have a look for our skull mesh. Might go for a jumbo skull. I feel like it's jumbo skull worthy. So let's place this chap down here. And then again, we just go create a light, or what I could do is go to the primitives tab over here. So we have these sort of primitive things like locators, effects, sounds, these primitive entities. If I want to create a light, I can just click and drag the light down onto the scene here. And that's going to automatically kind of make it a child of the thing I dragged it onto, which is nice. So if I was to now move the skull, that light would come with it, which is really useful. Okay, so we want to go nice spooky green. Okay, I want to make it quite intense. Let's See how that looks from above. So just catching some of it here. I think let's lower the exponent, so a little bit less drop off. So yeah, the beautiful thing here is, is just getting to tweak the numbers and just starting to play with them and not be kind of too worried about the effect. You get to see the change that's going to make in real time, which is really nice. You don't have to make changes and wait for the game to compile and wait for the light map to bake and all that sort of stuff. You can just kind of make changes on the fly and just see, the results straight away. So I can see now I've got this kind of green light being caught all the way around, which is kind of the effect I'm looking for. Bit of mystery, give the player a reason to go and dive in. Which, as I say, in basic mode, is sort of automatically done. So in water voxels, the characters now, he knows that he can swim here, and then I can dive down underwater, and you probably hear that the audio is slightly more muffled. So again, things are kind of intelligently happening in the background. So game sounds get adjusted by the fact that you're underwater now. It's like, gives it that real nice realistic feel. See my skull down there. So cool. Okay, that's all coming together nicely. What else would I want to add here? Maybe a snowman. I think I'm missing a snowman here. And then I'll perhaps go ahead and check out what you guys are up to.
Cool.
I've calmed down a bit now. I'm not on the meat or cheese skulls.
Nice.
Probably a good thing.
Probably for the best, yeah.
Yeah.
Not too big. Okay, I'll stamp that, and then I'm going to create another one top, and we'll knock this down a bit smaller. Okay, that's starting to look snowman-like. So what I'll do is I'm going to extract this, and then he can be free to be positioned wherever he wants. So if I just drag my brush around here again and hit extract, see here I've got this now to move and rotate and do with as I wish.
You can see the snowman wiggling in the distance.
Sliding around. Okay, voxel meshes. Try and find which one it is. Island 3 extract 3. There he is. Okay, so rename that to Snowman. Okay, let's see what we can do to make him more snowman-like. I think I could probably use meshes from this point. So let's go, I think, graphic cone hat. So I've just seen in chat, so we're saying do a pumpkin head on the snowman Minecraft style. We do have these pumpkins, but I don't think it'll quite work out. But what I might do, actually, that little bit on the end might make for a pretty good pumpkin nose. Look at that. There we go. Little kind of little green carrot nose.
Gosh. That's yeah, okay.
Maybe she'll just fly over, see it fly off again. Okay, Russ.
Hey, if you can find me a better pumpkin nose.
It's very specific.
I mean, not a pumpkin nose, a snowman nose.
Right, okay.
Oh god, this is starting to look terrifying. Got those like rotten lemons. Might make
Oh
for,
my god.
that might make for like a coal mouth. copy and paste those across. That's kind of like a snowman. It's the snowman of nightmares, but we also have 2 moons, one made of meat and one made of cheese, so I think I get a pass.
Well, fair enough.
And then good old broomstick arms. I'll take that. He looks pretty happy. Don't know what everyone else thinks. You don't have a carrot for the pumpkin nose. I don't know. I don't think we have a carrot mesh, do we?
We have corn.
Corn? Yeah.
Do we not have carrot? Oh no, we don't.
Arguably,
Arguably, the traffic cone would have been a better option.
for the nose, yeah, maybe it would have actually. I think you might be right. Right, let's get rid of the pumpkin. Let's readjust the phone. Oh yeah, I think you're definitely right there, Sean. Good shout.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a snowman. How about a cauldron for a hat? Quite like the cauldron mesh. There you go. He's got like he's about to go out on a motorbike or something. Guys, got his helmet on.
I've got to see this. You tried.
Yeah, it's a snowman. Cool. Very good.
You want to
Right.
attach the spin script to him so he's just constantly rotating like that.
I mean, feel free to get one and stick it on. So, okay, I'm going to leave that as my little kind of retreat, my little kind of campfire by the icy lake, my social space. Let's go have a look and see what everyone else has been up to. So let's go over here. So who's the temple? Is that you, Maggie?
The what?
The temple? I guess that's not who's.
Temple? Nope, that's not
Nope.
me.
Is that,
Adam.
Oh, sorry,
is
that's
that
mine.
you? Oh, that's you.
That is mine. Let me come back over and
Nice.
introduce you to what's going on. There's a room. That's about it.
Good stuff.
I'm building the room.
Good job. Good job.
Oh,
It needed an introduction.
you haven't built stairs. Now I'm stuck.
No, I haven't. No, not yet. You didn't give me a chance. Get your
Okay.
character out the way. I need to put stairs there.
Okay, that's right. I'll fly out. Okay, and then this is Maggie.
Hi.
There's fish. Oh, I didn't add any
Yeah.
fish to mine. I had some frozen fish on the fire or something.
Missing out.
Wait, don't they move? I thought they were alive.
You got the
Uh,
fish mesh.
Yeah, the effect
Yes.
will. There's a fish effect, which is like a particle effect of
So I
fishes.
just put a bunch of dead fish.
I think what you've done is just filled with
Whoops.
yeah.
I will remedy that.
I mean, they're in the water. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're just sleeping.
And then what's Sean up to? Big wooden building.
Just been building the big old roof on the front. Now putting up some nice beams. Every coffee shop needs some nice beams, right?
Nice. That's a very intricate roof. Oh,
It is.
I just ran straight off the side.
Don't do that.
Cool. Okay, we're going to need some way of actually getting between these islands. So have you got a plan for that, Adam? I think you'd mentioned about some sort of simple teleport type things.
Yeah, let's go for a teleporter. The classic. I'll set one up and then let everyone know what they need to place on their islands.
Cool. Any thoughts on this central island? What we could sort of style? I think might go for my favourite. It might be a bit dark.
Noodles.
Fox. That's the
Okay.
chocolate.
I was going to go for onyx. Onyx
That's
always
quite
looks,
nice.
always
Okay.
looks
Onyx is nice though, yeah.
It is quite cool at night as well. So if I just put the world settings back on. Oh, it's very dark though.
It is very dark. Maybe we should brighten up a bit generally.
Yeah. Should we go
'cause all
back?
the places.
Let's go back to like gloomy, so daytime. And then perhaps we'll just kind of put the slider towards the evening.
That's nice.
Go for sort of a 6:30. Moody sky.
Yeah, that's quite
Yeah.
nice.
Look at the
Okay.
sky against the moons. So good.
Kind of slightly.
God damn, I love those moons.
Oh, I just realised this one looks terrifying. It's like that's like the other one's kind of the one that's supposed to be like the meat scary one. Well, I don't know if it's not, but it's like way goofier. Whereas this one's just like actual stuff of nightmares.
Well, I realised someone suggested rabbit teeth, but I'd already done the tusks for the cheese moon. So, you know, I was limited in my options. Blame chat.
If in doubt, blame chat. Right. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll spend a bit of time creating and setting up one of our first game links. So at this point, we're going to do a little bit of scripting to get this to work, but it's using the API that we have in Crayta. So we have a lot of functions and a lot of things that we can actually help creators kind of throw their games together quite quickly, you know, and in quite powerful little kind of tips and trick ways. So I think what I was going to do for the portals is kind of a bit of an abstract. So rather than going for like the kind of classic big glowing vortex, I was thinking what might look quite nice is just kind of a simple, like a brick outer with like a door on it, and then the door's open and you step through the door. Something like that might look quite cool. So I'll go ahead and start building that. I'm going to go with the shape tool. Okay, and if I now hollow this out, the remove function. Right. So first thing I want to do is extract this again. So I want this to become its own entity from the terrain. Now something I can kind of work with as an entity in the world. So we'll call this portal. And look at our voxel meshes and we'll find a terrain extract and rename it just to keep it all tidy. The top tip. Okay. So I want to find a door mesh. So go to our meshes, and again we can search quite easily. Search for door. Got all sorts of doors to pick from. And I think I'm going to go for this white door. It's kind of quite clean looking.
The one with snake teeth is badass. That's one way to put it.
It's definitely something. I can almost imagine that being used in a game with like loads of sort of small cheese balls behind it. It's like a big snake, like slithering around. Like it'd be quite a terrifying boss of some sort.
Each time it gets a cheese pickup, it adds a cheese ball to the end.
It's like Crayta.
It's a caterpillar.
Snake. Oh no! Don't tell Robin.
Let Robin know it's a caterpillar head.
Okay. Bit of an inside joke, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone will find out soon enough at launch when Robin releases his first caterpillar game. Okay. So to get a nice glow, because obviously we don't want players to sort of step into the brick, we can use our neon, which is another example of our voxel meshes, which are quite kind of almost an intelligent mesh, voxel material. It illuminates the scene slightly. So again, it's not just a flat color; it actually provides a bit of lighting. You know, and it's quite an interesting one to work with. So as we can see there, that's starting to kind of really make this area a bit bright. Extrude that down. Fill that whole space. And now what I want to do is to work with this a bit easier, so get it off the grid. And again, I'm just going to extract that. Okay, so I'm going to move that into the path slightly. And then move the door in the way. So there, this can kind of be our portal. I've left a bit of space here to do some UI work a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to go find my portal extract, drag it under the door, so they're now kind of together. If I move one, or if I move the door, it will move the extract as well. And again, let's just go and find that in here and rename it to portal effect or something. Okay, so quick simple script on this door. So what I want to have is the doors to all be open, and some of our meshes provide animations. So depending on what you want to do, you can kind of animate various meshes in different ways. You could have the player grip something, so for example grip a rifle, and then you can play animations on the player to get them to fire the gun and that sort of thing. Or we have static meshes here, so like the door, we might want it to be open or closed, or actually play an opening animation or a closed animation. You can see if a mesh has animations associated with it because we have this copy animation names option here. If you hover over that, you get to see what the names of the animations are. So I'm going to add a script to this. So new script, and I'll call this door script. And what that does is that creates this new script component, and then I can come in. I think Adam's going to write this one for me. So I can come into the code editor actually built into Crayta. So again, if you're new here and you haven't seen this before, all the code is written in Crayta, so you don't have to go to any external programs. You don't have to go and kind of load up any external APIs or anything. It's all contained in the same sort of gameplay experience. And the nice thing there is it actually allows us to, or it has allowed us to make this code editor collaborative, which is a really nice way to be able to work together. So as you can see, I've just come into the script and done nothing. If I just make that a bit bigger. In the meantime, Adam's come in real time and just typed this script here. So I could leave him a comment now saying, thank you. And then Adam can see that and he can reply. So again, kind of real-time collaborative coding is a really nice way to get game ideas together quickly, to kind of prototype thoughts and ideas together, to debug code. So if you're working with someone on a problem in a game, you can actually get them to come and jump into the specific instance you're working on and actually look at the code together in real time. Or as a learning tool, it's a really nice way to teach someone kind of coding principles and how to Lua code and how to create games and write logic for gameplay. So yeah, it's a really nice way of being able to sort of get players kind of working together in code format. So what Adam's done there is he's playing an animation there. So if I simulate, and by simulating, what I'm going to do is get this mesh to kind of fire any scripts that are attached to it and to kind of see what the outcome is. So I'm not having to preview the game. I'm not having to go and build the game to see that very small kind of minor change. Again, what I can do here is in the editor actually see what would happen. So if I click simulate, we now see the door opens and we get a little bit of a sound associated with it. And there we have our kind of mysterious looking portal with our extracted neon voxels behind it. So that works quite nicely. Okay, it's worth noting at this point, if something is simulating, you won't be able to move it in the editor, so you'd have to stop simulating to then be able to move it, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to pull this out of the way, and what we want is a trigger box in here. So when the player steps through that portal into the trigger box, we'll fire off a little bit of game logic to take them to a specific game. So if I go to my primitives and we've got our trigger here, I can again just click and drag. That's going to add it to my portal entity up here in the world tree. Okay, so if I adjust this now, I'm going to make it a bit thinner, so you have to step through to actually get into the box area. And if I just specify that sort of thing, so that should be enough to kind of catch the player as they step through. All this portal trigger. Okay, and we get a few options here specific to a trigger box, so whether a player can interact with it. So that's a nice way of really making games accessible. So you can add a trigger box around a button, for example. So if you don't want the players to have to specifically click on a button, you might want them to actually be able to just interact near the button. Then using a trigger box is a really nice way to do that. You catch the input on the trigger, and then you can pass that event to the button itself. Again, to kind of put the mods on the spot, if the mods could go and share the link to the accessibility showcase stream that we did, all those sorts of tips and tricks around that are available in there. And that's, it's a really nice look at how you can make your own games as accessible as possible. Okay.
Everyone should have a teleport platform on their island now, so feel free to move it to the best place.
Sounds exciting.
I don't know how well it'll work. I'll make it play a sound and an effect though, hoping the basic logic works.
Okay, so I'm going to add another script to my portal trigger.
Actually, I forgot to template them. Give me a sec.
Sure.
Don't touch your teleporters.
Oops, too late.
Well, it's gone.
And it's gone.
Okay, so what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to jump in and just kind of a couple of little bits of logic here to be able to specify a link to a game. So the way we do that in this instance, I'm going to show a couple of ways of doing it. And these are all things that are kind of constantly in development. So this is just one way we do it at the moment, but these sorts of things are always kind of up for improvement perhaps, or up for kind of change in the future. So the way I'm going to do it here is we're going to introduce this game ID concept. So games have an ID associated with them. So if I just add this here of type string, so we have properties which are available at the top of a script. Now if I save this script, we should see that this game ID property is now appeared down in the bottom corner. And what that does is allows people to use this script who perhaps aren't familiar with coding or don't want to go in and do any code, but just want to get the benefits of the script. So exposing the properties actually allows players to take the script and start making changes to start making changes to the gameplay that the code is associated with. So in this case, we can type in a game ID down here in the properties, and that's the game ID we're going to get this portal to take someone to. Now, obviously, I could hard code, I could write the game ID in the scripts and have it as a kind of a static string that can't be changed. But this is just a really nice way of letting this script be used by anyone, or be used in several cases or several places within your own game. And you wouldn't have to change the code or have 7 different versions of the same script. Instead, what you'd have is just the property would be different for every instance of the script that you've placed down. Okay, so we can use some of the API that's available to us. So because I'm on a trigger, I'm going to get a on trigger enter. So when a player or when an entity enters the trigger, this is going to get called, and it's going to pass the entity that came inside it. So it doesn't have to be players. It could be when certain things within your game enter the trigger you want to know. So that's one way you can catch that. I've ticked this players only option here, so I don't have to guard against things that aren't players triggering this function. It's only going to fire this here. It's only going to call on trigger enter when it's a player that enters, which is a nice way of just taking that kind of validation away from the creators. You can just tick that box, and then you can just always assume if something's entered this trigger and this function gets fired, that it must have been a player. So I can call entity, and because I know it's a player, I can call a get user function on them. So that's going to return me the user. So player is our physical character that is in the world, and our player is kind of the human who's playing the game. Essentially, it's the account, it's the person on the game. And in this case, we need to kind of access that part of the game, so the user. Okay, and then we provide this go to game option. So quite straightforward. It's just there's a couple of options here. We can either provide a string, which is the game ID, or a callback function. So if the travel fails for any reason, it will call back that function. But I think we're going to leave that for now, and we're just going to call our game ID. So we can use the game ID we specified in the properties at the top. So self.properties game ID. Okay, so that's quite a straightforward little script, and hopefully that made some sense. And again, if you're interested more in the scripting and the sort of deeper coding side of things, we've done previous streams again, so do make sure you go and check those out. We did a masterclass on Lua scripting, so all that sort of thing is available for you to go and have a deeper dive into. if you wanted to sort of get ahead of it before launch. Okay, so Adam, would you mind digging out a game ID for a game that you like and sticking that in the portal trigger for me?
Sure. You know a good one?
Um,
Adventureland.
Yeah, I think Adventureland was quite fun, wasn't it? I don't think we're actually going to travel there now. When you're in the editor, any call to like travel to world or so go to world or go to game doesn't actually happen in the editor, because obviously you don't want it to you don't want to be testing your game and it constantly be throwing you out to another kind of play instance of a different game. But instead, it will tell you in the console, which I'll show you in a moment, that it's worked, essentially, that it would have taken someone to the game. But I think at the end of the stream, once we're kind of wrapping this up, we'll publish this game and we'll jump into it in play mode and we'll see kind of some of these portals working. Okay, so let us know when that's ready, Adam, and that hopefully should all connect up. I can see you've got these teleporters here. Do I need to do anything to set my teleporter up?
No, just position it where you want it.
Position it, okay.
Cool.
Yes.
I mean, there's a good chance they don't work, but that'll be my fault, not yours.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough.
Sean is going intricate with that roof.
Yeah,
It's a nice roof.
Is he going to get it finished?
That is the appeasing question.
Blimey. Okay.
Cool. Okay, so let me know when you're done. We'll
Yeah, just give me a
preview
sec.
that. Oh, it's looking great. I'm going to come and get a sneak peek. Drone through the window. Wow, this is a big space.
This is. I'm not sure I can make a big space cozy. But this is what I miss about the outside world.
Should be ready to go.
Yeah. It's looking great.
Let's stop Sean reminiscing about the outside for a sec.
Cool. Okay, let's just double check where our start locator went. Oh, right, I'm going to hit preview.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, so now we're in our preview kind of version of the game. So it looks very familiar. It looks kind of what we've seen so far from our basic mode, at least. But now we've kind of got the game logic running, or in this case, kind of any of our scripts and things should be running. So I assume if this works.
Did you use a teleporter?
It didn't work, no.
No, you have to stand on it for 2 seconds and then it sends you. But it sort of sends you into
Yeah.
the middle of the
Oh,
thing.
oh, it, yeah.
Yes, it has.
It's only halfway.
It's not perfect,
Yeah.
but it nearly works.
Cool. I just remembered one thing I missed from my portal as well, so I'll let you fix that quickly.
Okay, nice.
And I'll go fix my thing. So one thing I didn't do was this extracted sort of portal effect here. I actually need to turn collision off on that. So if I disable collision, that's going to allow players to pass through there. Cool.
That should have fixed that now.
Okay. Try that again. So what you can see there is it's very quick iteration time. You know, we can really quickly jump from the editor to preview and back, make small tweaks to gameplay, make changes to things. Watching the cheese moon float past.
Oh gosh, I forgot about them.
They're great.
Oh, cool. So you guys have come to hang out in my cozy winter camp.
The moons look like they're trying to face off each other.
I found the skull.
I'm here for the skull.
I found it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very hidden. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the green glow always gives it away.
Okay, so I can press O to open up the console here. So we can see I've got this console overlaid. So if I step in here now, we get this one line. I'm not sure how readable that is, but it's telling me there that the portal trigger is sending a user to a game and then tells me the game ID that Adam's entered. So I know at that point that it would have sent me to that, and it's worked. Obviously, as I say, the editor won't actually send players to a game. Just for kind of testing reasons, you don't want to be jumping in constantly to a different game if you're just trying to check things out. Oh, I just fell straight through Maggie's pond.
Oh, your pond doesn't have a bottom.
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's deliberate.
Sorry,
I get you. It's a trap. Oh, and a bathtub. Okay. Yeah, no, this is about par for the course of what I'd expect. This looks really nice. It does look extra cozy. There's something about armchairs on the grass. Just looks really cozy. Right, see if I can. Never mind. See if I can get back to teleporter without falling through the pond of doom.
You can.
Yeah,
You sure?
I tried to jump, but I completely missed. So, okay, I'm gonna go back to the this side. Okay, so that's one way that we can set things up to be kind of specific games. But another way we can do is actually retrieve kind of a list of games. And again, this is all kind of slightly work in progress to a degree. But what we can do is actually retrieve a rail of games. So that's how we do things in the hub. So you can see we have the curated games there. So I thought what might be quite interesting is to try and get the recently updated games. So games that have been updated. We might want to have our hub space present those to us. So rather than having to go to the rail in the menu, so if I press play, we can see here we have recently updated, and these are some of the games that we've made on various streams in the past. We thought it might be quite nice to see that. So you might come into your hub, hang out with your friends for a bit, and then go check out a few game links of games that have been updated, all kind of within the 3D space. So Adam, I think you're going to need to just give me a hand with this one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you want to start doing the sort of logic to retrieve that list, and I'll have a bit of UI.
Yep.
So again, what would be nice here is a kind of bind into a little bit of UI to show you kind of what game you're about to go into. So to do that, we can do some 3D of in-world UI. So if I position a locator up here, okay, and I'll just rename this my Portal 1 UI. Okay, and I want to add a couple of things to this. I'm going to add a UI widget. Okay, and this will be my, we'll call it a game card widget. Okay, I also want to add a script to this. So two things here. The widget is our HTML that'll actually display kind of in game, and then our script is we'll use that as a Lua script to kind of power the UI. So we see that we've got that UI has now appeared on screen. So that's our default kind of template UI. But actually, I want this to appear here in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go open this up and select to go bottom source editor. So this is a really nice way when you're working with UI is actually getting to split the editor up into two places. So you can see your UI code here at the bottom, and you can see the result of it up at the top. So what I'll do is I'm just going to strip this down to kind of the bare bones of what I need it to do. And then I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to make it look super nice. I'm going to let Sean come in and do something. I'm not sure what, but something that will look better than what I think I'll come up with.
Okay, there should be some logic in place now. If you set an array of game walls on the game manager object, then it should populate them with the games.
Okay. That sounds good.
In fact, I'll make a property on it so you can pass in the different rail names that you might want.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so actually that's quite an interesting use case there. So if you do the code, I probably won't even need to look at the code if you've exposed some properties to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can update my sort of JavaScript model here. So the model is the sort of the dynamic things on the screen that are going to change. So like, for example, the health bars, the scores, the scoreboard, the timers, those things that would update kind of in values on screen can be sort of defined in a model here. So what I want to display above our portal is the name of the game. So we'll have a game name, and we can add a test value. So we'll just call this a game. And then the second thing I want to display is who made the game, because that's always an interesting thing to know going into it. So we'll call this the game creator. Okay, and in this case, we'll just put my name there, so Rusty. Okay, so that's our model, and now we can actually bind this model in the HTML through GameFace. Okay, so I'm going to set up 2 header tags. I'm going to do 1h2 and 1h3. I'm sure Sean will change all this anyway. Go data bind value. Okay, so the data bind value tag there is how we kind of get this tag to be defined with our model value. So what we'll do is we'll update the model to say this is the name of the creator, and then the UI will bind that into this element.
Just so you know, Russ, I've set up the Lua side of that for you on the game card script.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Very useful. Crayta. Okay, so if I just go and pop that open now, have a look. Yeah, I see Adam busy typing away. So all this is going to do is this is going to get a reference to the widget, pass it some values, and then basically the UI handles itself from there. So you can see there's not much code involved to be able to get kind of simple strings and things onto a UI. It's quite a straightforward process. And it's, you know, it can really start to get as deep and as complicated or as complex as you'd like it to. You know, it's quite a powerful system, which is nice, but obviously it's kind of root element is still very straightforward. Not much code there to learn or have to kind of remember. Go on. Game card widget is there ready for you to do your thing if you are ready to.
On it like a bonnet.
Cool. Okay. I'm just going to switch the type to world. And if I just rotate, so we can see that's my widget there. Oh, it's really small. I think I forgot to change the size. So if I just give it 100% height width. Okay, there we go. So it's a nice big square. So we can see there, if I just zoom in, we've got a very tiny little text at the top that says a game and then Rusty. So quite small and quite tiny, but Sean's going to make that look much nicer, much more appropriate, and much more kind of stylish, I'm sure. Okay.
Let's go.
So what do I need to do now? So Adam set me up this game manager. So as I say, he set up these properties. So I don't actually need to look at the code here. I don't need to jump in and see what's going on. Actually, I can set this up quite nicely by just using drag and drop. So I'm going to drag Portal 1 UI into there. So this now has a link to that UI. So it knows how to kind of where it needs to push updates to. And for the rail name, he said hub video wall. But I think if we just go for updated as the name, that's going to get us that updated rail to work from. Okay, I can already... Sean's already doing his job because I can now read the text nicely. So cool.
That's
Okay.
a low bar.
I shall go and full screen again. Okay, I'll leave that with you. What I will do is I'll take my portal and I'm going to create a template of this. Okay, so a template is just a collection of assets, so a collection of entities in the world, and it allows you to kind of stamp them down, a bit like a prefab, if that's a more familiar term. So what we can do is we now have this portal template. So if I go to my template tab here, I can see that I've got copies here to paste down. I can also copy and paste those. I think we'll just get the first 4 perhaps. There we go. So now I just need to go back to my manager and make sure I add these new ones. Okay, and have you assigned the triggers, Adam, to take the game ID? Did you set that part up as well?
I assigned the first trigger into the entity property.
Cool. Okay, so that should have carried across to all of those. Okay, brilliant. Cool. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time to sort that out. What time are we at? So yeah, as always, chat. If you do have any questions, just make sure you get those questions into the chat for the mods to try and answer. I think they've been doing a pretty good job. It looks like it's been quite a busy one again, so thank you for that. If you haven't already, do make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. So we've got all sorts of content already on the channel, various showcases of our indie games that we've got available at launch to play. We've got a whole raft of streams that we've already done, so we've got a back catalogue there for you guys to check through and just sort of get up to speed, ready for the launch next week. Wow, it always feels weird to say that.
Yeah, it's a bit scary.
It is a little bit scary, but really like kind of super
Pretty
exciting as well. Yeah, I can't wait to see kind of what people start sort of creating really. So actually, yeah, if you want to let us know in chat what sort of things you're excited to create, I'd love to hear those. That'd be really interesting. What sort of hub spaces, what sort of personal things you'd like to see, kind of private chill out zones. How many more meat moons and cheese moons are we going to see?
Preferably none.
Well, we'll see. I feel like they're going to have to become a package, especially the
Yeah,
meat
true.
moon, the goofy meat moon. It's going to need to get packaged up in some way. Cool. Okay, how about is there anything else you were going to do, Adam? I think we've got the portals in there, haven't we?
I think we've covered
Oh,
everything.
I
Yeah.
mentioned I was going to do a football thing. I'm going to stick a little football zone here. So
Yeah.
I knew there was something I'd forgotten on my mind. So mesh. So we have actually got some football goals to play with. And what they got the big exercise ball. I think that's kind of a more comedic sort of size to kick around. Is it exercise ball? The fitness, I think it's fitness ball. There it is. Fitness ball, slightly larger. Okay, so let's enable physics on this. So simple click, enable physics, and this ball will now act under physics. So I think if I simulate it, that doesn't do what I thought it would. But this should now be available for us to sort of kick around and play with. Got a goal there to play. I guess we could dive deeper into code there and have it so like if the ball was destroyed or fell off the world, we'd get to respawn another one. Just seen a flame. I thought I saw a plane fly past. I just like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Uh-huh.
That looks really cool. Okay, how's the UI looking, Sean? Do you think we're
Better.
yeah ready to give it a quick test?
One
Go for
sec.
it.
I just want a
Oh.
trail on my plane, and then we're ready.
Ooh.
Okay, that could be awful, but yes. Now I'm ready.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so if I hit preview now, hopefully see this time we've got some different games on there. Yeah, we do. Cool. So we can see that Adam's logic that he's written there to retrieve the rail now is given us sort of dynamically the names of the games that we're going to go into. So Litter Pickers, Train Runner, Capturing the Clouds, Superhero Simulator. So you might recognize all those games we've made on the streams. So if any of those games sound exciting to you, do make sure you go check out those previous archives. If you're interested in UI and kind of how you can do UI things, I'd highly recommend going to check out Superhero Simulator. Sean did an amazing job in that one with some really, really interesting UI tricks that you can kind of run with at launch. So yeah, definitely check that one out if you're interested in UI. I've just seen the baby in the background as well.
Oh wait, what?
Where? Oh, I made it in.
It made it in.
Oh no.
The rampaging monster baby. Cool. Okay.
Don't stay on the teleporters for too long. They send you back if you wait more than a
I know.
second. Oops. Okay, slight flaw in my logic there.
Yeah,
But
I was a bit too slow. Get off.
you just got to keep running.
And then I fell through the world. Oh, hey, my ball's in the goal. Someone scored already.
Wait, where's the boost bell? Oh, there it is.
The ball. It wouldn't be a social space if there wasn't a ball to kick around. Try and get stuck in silly places. So cool. Okay, well, this is coming together nicely. As I say, we've not spent too long on this. We're just over an hour at this point. We could obviously add a lot more stuff around inside, but hopefully, it's starting to give you guys an idea of the sorts of things that you can start to throw together. Okay, I think, is there anything else you guys wanted to add? If I press F5, we'll jump back to editor there. How is your coffee shop getting on, Sean? Are you kind of,
Well, I'm pretty good.
yeah?
Just gonna have a look when it's in the next preview.
Cool. Okay.
Woo!
In the
It's
next preview.
cozy.
Yeah, I think we'll probably start to wrap up soonish. So as always, chat, if you do have any questions and you haven't asked them yet, do make sure you go and get those in now, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you have any questions that didn't get answered, or if you kind of think of something after the stream, then do make sure you head over to our Discord. I'll get the links back up on the screen now. Not that bit. Cool. Okay, so there we can see crayta.com/discord. So we do our best to be as active as we can over there, answering all your questions. And there's a lot of questions that come in, and we do really love that. So make sure you keep those coming in. Is that a cheese Death Star?
No, it's a cheese moon.
The cheese moon, but is the Death Star a moon?
No, that's no moon. The Death Star. But this one is. This is a moon.
It literally is a moon. So yeah, I guess, yeah, well played. Cool. Okay, let's go add some more bits. I think a few more balls to kick around.
Now that I've seen Maggie's Meat Baby, I've realised how similar the Meat Moon looks.
I
Yeah.
love the two of them just screaming in the corner.
Oh, I realised we forgot something.
Oh, I think I've just beat you to it.
Really? It doesn't look like. Oh yeah, it's installed. Okay.
It wouldn't be a stream if we didn't have Raf in somewhere. So
Yeah.
there we are. He's hanging out in the ice place at the minute with
Nice.
Snowman.
Very nice.
Where was
Oh, he's a bit-
Raf from? Was that the litter pickers? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want a bit of a backstory into where Raf came from, you could probably ask Raf himself if he's in chat. I know he's around somewhere sometimes on these streams, but if not, do make sure you head over to the litter pickers stream. As I say, with the whole backstory as to where Raf came from. You should be able to teleport to the moons.
Someone can stick a teleporter on one of the moons if they really want.
In the mouth. I might get a bit strange with the movement. I'm trying to think how well that would.
If it's a child of it, it should work.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't hold me to that.
So you set up a teleporter. So if I add a teleporter just here, and I guess this is the other end of that teleporter. So why not position that in here? Okay, but what I need to do now is make edge. Okay, yeah, I see. So platform 2. Oh, I've moved the wrong thing there. Okay, yeah. So I want. There we go. Iron teleport to 5. Where's platform 2 gone? There it is. Okay, so this one, if I stick that over here. Oh, I'll tell you what I need to do. I always forget is add some sound and some music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, feel free if you guys want to pick your own tracks to stick in your various sort of areas. Good. Okay, now I need to make platform 2 Island Teleport 5 a child of. Should I just search the world tree for cheese?
Yes.
Cheese moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess you found it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So platform 2. Ooh, attempting to attach platform 2 to Cheese Moon 1 while it's still connected to the platform, template 2 will break its link to the template. That should be fine though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you can break its link. To the
Yeah,
template,
yeah,
that's fine.
that's fine. So breaking the link to a template just means that now I've kind of adjusted the template beyond, this instance beyond kind of the kind of construction of the original template. It's just warning me that I'm going to break the link, and now any changes to the template won't affect this instance, but it should still behave in exactly the same way. So that's no problem there. Okay, so that's one thing to test. So the portal behind the doors should take us up into the Cheese Moon's mouth.
Such a weird series of words.
Yeah. The Cheese Moon's scary, kind of crazy snake mouth.
No,
okay.
it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. So time to move on to some music. Let's get some sounds in the central area here. We'll call this portal music. Okay, and probably something a bit calmer for the middle. A bit big beat cheese music. I feel like that needs to be playing on the moon.
Did you search cheese in the music library?
No, it was just there at the top.
Oh, sure. Okay. Make the Cheese Moon a package on it. Oh, there's going to have a teleporter in it, which is a bit weird. I'll make it a template and take the teleporter out or something. Do you mind if I unparent the platform and then parent it again?
Yeah, whatever.
Cheese Moon. Packages. Cheese Moon description. Not quite what you'd expect. ...
I don't know. Cheese Moon? Oh, okay, yeah, teeth. That's fair.
Teeth and disco eyes.
Yeah, I would expect that, I guess.
I said not quite what you'd expect. It's not entirely different to what you'd expect. It's just a bit weird. Confirm, create. Okay. The Cheese Moon now exists as a package as well.
Have to copy that to launch.
Yeah.
That's fairly quiet. I might just turn the volume up on that. So hopefully the chat can hear that music. Okay, I'm gonna get some over here as well.
I've added some music to my Temple Island, by the way.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I think we'll start to wrap up in a minute. We'll kind of give this publishing a play after one more preview. Have a look. Adventure.
I'm just looking for all the cozy stuff I can stick in my coffee shop.
Cool. Right. How ready are we for the final preview before we publish? I think we probably about there, right?
Yeah, think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Everyone happy? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit
yeah.
preview
Let's
now.
go for it.
Drop through. Right. Cool. Okay. Oh, wow.
There's 3 planes
It's
now.
a squadron now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so it's all starting to come together quite nicely. Oh, I lost all the balls rolled off already. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna go check out my music over here. Let's get off the portal.
Yeah. Oh, I should have probably fixed that. Sorry.
That's okay. That's not a problem. It's quite an interesting back and forth.
Oh yeah, there is music here.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I could tell.
Oh, and a RAF.
And a RAF.
I want to see the RAF.
Cool. Well, tell you what we'll do. We'll have a quick publish, and we'll jump back. So if you guys want to jump back to the hub, we'll publish. I'll publish that game now. So, and then we can jump into preview, and we can actually see those portals working.
Sounds good.
We go back to the editor. Okay. So game description. So the description for this one, I guess we can say, look out for the moons. Interesting thing. We did put a moon in the game card though, so I guess that not quite a cheese moon, but still. Okay, and then we want to add a couple of tags to help it be found easier. So what do we think? Fantasy for sure, because it's got meat moons, so pretty fantastical. What else are we looking for here? Relaxing. Got a nice relaxing coffee.
As long as you don't look up at the sky, it's quite relaxing.
Yeah. Okay, I think that'll do. We'll go for it's fantasy and it's relaxing. Okay, so we'll publish that there. Okay, so now if I just jump back to the hub, be able to have a look at the play page and we'll jump in there together. So you guys are already here.
Yep.
So we see we're back in the kind of the main doc Crayta hub. So we'll jump into our own and we'll hang out there for a bit. So recently updated. Oh, interesting. We're probably going to get our own hub appear as a game to go to. So that's an interesting sort of hubception. But this is actually, think about it, this is going to be a really nice way, a really nice use of the state share beta that we're kind of really pleased, really excited to be launching with, kind of when we come out next week. So you could actually create your own hub space, you can create that with friends, and then you can kind of have that as an option to then just sort of jump into from anywhere. So kind of you can, have your own nice little space to hang out in. Oh, I've got all my balls here. Whee. I feel like, we could code something in here. So like if you get them all in the goal, there's like some sort of voxel firework display goes off. That'd be cool. Right, I'm going to go check out.
I've seen voxel fireworks. They look quite good.
I'm going to go check out the coffee shop. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Okay, Sean. Look at those spotlights.
Hello, would you like a beverage?
Ooh,
Oh, yes.
getting
Yes,
fancy.
please.
Hello. Give me one of them.
That's not a beverage.
Damn it.
You're banned from this establishment.
You're a bad waiter.
This is really cool.
Right,
So-
I'm serving.
I mean, it always, kind of blows me away. But you have to remember, this whole thing was made in, an hour and 20 minutes, as well as all the UI that you just did for me as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice,
I
cozy
like
looking.
music.
Mm. Cool. Okay, I'll go back to third person. Right, let's go
Oh.
check out.
Someone just pointed out on chat, don't forget to teleport to the cheese moon.
Oh,
So this is
yes. That is that one. Sean, you can bite the bullet. Oh, is it not working? Adam, what
Oh,
did
no.
you do?
No.
Oh no, Adam.
I blame you, Russ.
Right.
You took a copy of the teleport, right?
you
yeah, from the library.
Template it up and then delete it.
You did something after.
No.
You said you were doing something with
Delete it.
parents.
Oh no.
Never mind.
Oh.
Maybe we'll have to get. I always fall for the pond. There we go. That tricky pond.
I want to try and jump on the meat baby's hand.
Not quick enough.
Doable, Sean. You
Oh.
can use it to get through
You
his
gu-
head.
You
Yeah,
guys,
we keep doing the same thing.
we just keep pushing each other off.
If you jump to the right when you start. Yeah.
Ah, nailed
Who
it.
is that on top of the meat baby?
Oh, nice.
How did you get there? I want to get to the top of the meat baby now.
It's great up here, guys.
Right. Wait for the arm to go down.
That's right. Giant thumbs up.
Is this what the streams become
Oh
now?
no.
Yes.
Oh no, I slipped off.
Nice.
Cool. I mean, you know, everyone enjoys a good social space with climbing. Yeah, how high you can get. Right, I'm going to check out your temple room, Adam.
Where's the teleporter back? Oh, it's covered in bear traps. Thanks,
Oh.
Maggie.
Oh my god, Maggie.
Ooh. Like a temple shrine to Wrath.
Yeah. That's his sacrifice pit. You, like, you know, you can just fall in there.
I really like this magical fire.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
it's really
cool.
cool.
Blue fire. That's cool. Ooh. What if you go in?
You just die. and
Oh.
fall.
Sacrifice
And then you
yourself
go back to the center.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, and then a quick check of this one. So this is my. Oh, we think we already came here, didn't we? Actually, in the other way. Okay, so I think let's jump in. What do we think? I think let's go for a quick run around. Let's go capturing the clouds.
I love catching the clouds.
Cool. So as you see there, the second I kind of went into the portal, it's going to now take us to that game. So it's a nice way to kind of have either your favorite games, kind of through the game IDs, kind of assigned there, or it's taken us to Adventureland.
Oh.
We must have missed.
Either me or you did something wrong.
We must
in
have
the,
missed a link to update, but never mind. I mean, Adventureland's just as fun, but you get the idea. So obviously, there we can step through portals, unless capturing the clouds has drastically changed. I'm not sure this is taking us the right place, but yeah, you get the idea. You can take a kind of a portal and get into another game. So we've left our hub space now. And we're actually playing a game, sort of in Crayta, doing, you know, as a group, still doing what we want. And then at any point we could press the escape key or the start button on a controller, and we get into the play page. So from the play page we can see all sorts of different things to go and explore and play. So there's a ton of games here. Well, there'll be games available kind of as our launch games, and then obviously we'll have any games that people are publishing throughout the day. So okay, I think that's probably a good place to sort of wrap this stream up. So thank you guys, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit.
See ya.
Okay, cool. So hopefully that's been a really interesting stream for those people who wanted to kind of see that side of things. So as I say, we weren't focusing so much on game creation, but actually focusing on the ways that you can create your own sort of hangout spaces, a social space, a hub, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's just a way that you can connect with people. You can kind of hang together. You can discover new games together. It's a really interesting way, you know, and I'm really excited to see what sort of, you know, those kind of spaces that you guys end up kind of putting together and making. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. As I say, we've got all sorts of content on the channel already, and we have all sorts planned. You know, our streams aren't going to stop at launch. We've got a whole schedule planned ready for after we've launched. So do make sure you subscribe and set up your notifications to get notified as when we start. Head over to our Discord. We're pretty active over there. We do our best to answer any questions that we get, and also share bits of information and announcements and things, and our kind of stream schedule. All that sort of stuff's over there, so make sure you jump over to crayta.com/discord. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram with @CraytaGame, or just CraytaGame. You know, if you search that, you'll find us. Instagram, we do a lot of sharing of our kind of exciting project, which is our comic book. So if you're into your sort of graphic novel comic books, do make sure you head over there and get a sneak peek at some various bits of concept art and all that sort of stuff, and keep up to date with what's going on with that. And yeah, I think that kind of wraps up all that stuff. So thank you for coming. It's been a nice busy stream again by the looks of it. It's plenty of stuff, plenty of people watching. So it's really exciting to see sort of this community grow. And I can't wait to see you all in the next stream, which we're coming back this Friday. So we'll see you on Friday.